Hello viewers, Super GT here with some gameplay of the new Mercedes-Benz racing truck in Forza 6. So this is a new vehicle in the Turn 10 Select pack released on July 12th. Now the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, but the second rule of Fight Club is take any new extravagant vehicle online into an online lobby to see the carnage it produces. So look at this, I can't even see anything from this chase cam view. Look at the size of that wing. That is wing of the century. So I'm going to have to go into this viewpoint here, which is one I rarely ever use. Well, I don't ever use it. And that guy's just going to get absolutely sideswiped into the wall, into turn number 1. We've got a couple more trucks in the race with us. And that guy is just going to get completely smashed into the wall. He's getting pushed along the road here, that BMW. But luckily I'm in a truck, so I can quite easily force him out of my way. Now, okay, coming into the narrow chicane section here, taking all the curb I can, and actually look at the grip on this vehicle, on this truck. That rear wing really giving a lot of downforce, and of course it's a very heavy truck, so it's going to be naturally quite grippy. Coming up the hill, this is where it's going to struggle though, so that BMW is going to come back at me. And going over the bumps, I'm going to make contact with him. He's all over the place. Look at this. He's turned it into a D1 GP drift session and then into the left-hander before the tunnel. I'm actually almost getting alongside him here. As we enter the tunnel, we've got another truck behind us. He's taking a poor line. I'm going to go around the outside of him in the tunnel in a truck. Actually, no, I'm not. There he goes. He has re-emerged in 5th. Now coming down into the 90 degree left, we have only got a couple more corners left on the circuit. I'm going to brake way too late into the wall. There we go. Into reverse gear. We're going to have to get out of here. That was not a good corner at all. And then 2 more trucks go flying into the wall. I was not the only one, so perhaps the brakes aren't quite up to scratch on this truck. I don't think I put the brakes in on this tune. I'll probably have to change that and mainly focus on the wing. Look at the size of it. We're going to try to drive in chase cam here, give it a go. Let's see if we can actually do it. I can't see anything directly in front of me, so I'm relying on the mini map here to see if there are any cars. I've got a bit of a gap at the moment to the car ahead, so I can actually just pretty much rely on the walls on the side and my knowledge of the track. There is the apex. We've actually hit the apex. That's quite good. When you're turning, you can actually see ahead, which is quite good, but other than that you can't see anything. So we're going to move into another viewpoint again. This view, now I don't use it at all, so I'm really quite bad in it, as proven by that. So what we're going to do here is leave that race. I went back and modified the truck. It's now made out of wood, because you know most trucks are. So off the line we go. It is Road Atlanta. Have we got... Yes, we've got a car on our left there. The visibility, now that is something I must point out. The visibility is absolutely shocking. So I'm just going to knock off that Mercedes totally by accident. As I said just now, I don't use this viewpoint, so I really am not used to it at all. The truck is a lot wider than this viewpoint is, so if you go ahead straight in this viewpoint, if there's a car next to you, you'll hit that car basically. So you have to be very careful in this view with regards to the side of the viewpoint. The truck is so wide, so it's actually really hard to judge exactly where the side is. That's probably why I hit that tyre on Rio, because I just couldn't quite judge it. The chase cam is pretty much out of the question. You just cannot see ahead of you, so that is just totally a pointless option in this vehicle. Now the funny thing about this vehicle as well, about the truck, it's got 10 gears. Now going off the line, you really do have to shift up very quickly, pretty much up into 5th gear, very quickly before you even get to the first corner. This Mercedes 190E is in the wall where he's going to flip over. This is a big advantage of the truck though. You can pretty much just push anything out of the way if it does come into your path. And this truck is just going to edge me out wide, and I am going to concede another position. So in 13th, unlucky for some, into the chicane. He's going to get bumped into the wall, and the truck is off. I'm going to go around his outside. Am I going to get the job done before we hit the S's? Please say I am. Into 11th, not 12th. And I'm just going to edge him out. And again, he probably has some visibility issues, just having to concede the position. We do have a rear view mirror there on the inside of the truck. Now this is lap number 3. We've caught up with another truck. This is the visibility issue. There it is. That's confirmation of... Well, I could blame the view, but then I could also just blame that I'm not very good at this viewpoint at all. So this viewpoint, actually, you can only see pretty much the left-hand side of everything. This truck actually extends way far out to the right, so you do have to drive quite far to the left to avoid anything on your right-hand side. It is very hard to do. If there's a car on your right, you're pretty much screwed, basically. So you might as well only overtake a truck on the left. You've got a better chance of them actually seeing that you're there. So coming into the chicane, going down into 5th gear around here. 5th gear is pretty much the equivalent of 2nd gear in most cars, 2nd or 3rd gear, because of how many gears there are in this truck. So you really do have to adapt your gear shifting style. So up into 9th gear here, going into turn number 1, down a couple of gears into 7th, which seems the most suitable gear for this first turn. It's not a very sharp turn, the first one here at Road Atlanta, so not having to downshift too many. Now we do have a good race on here, so this guy is just going to avoid the wall, and I'm going to get the momentum on him into the S's, taking back 8th position, just checking back there to make sure that he wasn't alongside. And then we've got a Lotus going very slowly, not sure why. I've gained another position from him, going up into 7th. The Mercedes 190E, who flipped over early, is actually catching up, so it's going to be very interesting to see if I can keep him at bay for the last couple of corners. So into the chicane, breaking on that first line, down from 9th into 5th gear, hooking up with the apex very nicely, gives me a good run through the second part, and then on the exit, accelerating up through 6th, 7th and 8th gear, going downhill into the last turn, getting it hooked up very nicely. It's actually a very grippy vehicle. The truck is actually very good on grip. It's just the acceleration, I think, and the top speed which isn't quite up to scratch. In 10th gear there. So a quick bonus clip, or a couple of bonus clips. So this was a start around Sebring. So we've got a couple of trucks at the back of the pack, and then there's this truck here. It's just going to force me very narrow. I'm really not sure why. Perhaps he wanted to give so much room on his right hand side, as I mentioned, just so that he didn't hit anyone on his right hand side. Then ended up squeezing me on the left. But I am through into 11th behind a 190E once again, and he's going to go a little deep. Just make contact with the Lotus, push him wide, and then I just cannot see for shit where that guy is. He could be anywhere, and I'm just going to go smashing through. Oh my god, I'm a victim here. It seems I shouldn't be, not in the biggest vehicle, but I am. So we're going to move to Indianapolis, and hopefully we can have a better start here. You're just having to constantly check around to see where the other vehicles are, because if you don't, there's a very good chance that there's one pretty much underneath your wheels screaming in pain. So into the first turn, Indianapolis is always an interesting one because of the misinterpretation of that curb. And through the first turn, we're going to leave room on the outside for that purple lorry to go past. So he's through into 9th. I'm in the top 10. Those three guys are just going to wipe each other out. Thank you guys. I have 3 positions for free. Or is it this guy? No, he still exists. He's still there. And that's the thing. You just cannot see them. You're so high up. The view is so panoramic, but you just can't see people if they're right beside you. So then coming up into the next turn around the Indianapolis infield, I get my braking all wrong. This is a massive down point of the cockpit view. Not necessarily for this vehicle, but just in general, because I just cannot judge the speed at all. I'm really bad at judging the speed when I'm in cockpit view. So that's why there are quite a lot of mistakes. But that is going to bring a close to this video. There it is, the wooden Mercedes number 24 racing truck. And I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe for more of the same, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.